And here come the Boilermakers. With head coach Joe Tiller, who has turned this program completely around. A Montana State graduate who was a head coach at Wyoming before he moved to West Lafayette. And now for Columbus, Ohio, on the far side, John Cooper and the Buckeyes. So there is the All-American and Heisman Trophy candidate, Drew Brees, who has been putting up this kind of numbers this year.
And Brant, Drew Brees yesterday told me that he has a real good feel for what he wants to do in this game. He feels he's got a read on how he wants to throw the ball against this defense.
And on the other side, Steve Belisari, and a fine all-around athlete, a bit of a running quarterback. The Buckeyes, of course, are hoping that today he'll be accurate.
Yeah, accurate, and I think it's his most relaxed I've ever seen Steve in the 2 years I've been doing games with him at quarterback.
Tough ticket. A little bit of Breeze will be at Purdue's back. The Buckeyes looking for field position. The dangerous Kenyon Rambo. Number 4 was off to the left. Travis Dorsch from Bozeman, Montana, puts the ball on the tee. And you can tell that the wind is already affecting the start of this game. That is one element that concerns Coach Tiller and this wide open passing game. It certainly reduces the effectiveness for half of the game. Underway. Wells driven back into the end zone, elects to bring it out. Penalty flag thrown on the play. Wells is down at the 10-yard line, but there is a penalty marker thrown by the linesman. Illegal block against the Bucks. That'll put them back in the hole as referee Steve Newman will mark it off. And Steve Belisari, one-time high school all-state safety down in Boca Raton, Florida. This young man blocked 6 kicks as a senior. He was headed for Ohio State all the way because his father walked on for Woody Hayes and was a Buckeye. The Miami Hurricanes recruited him hard and lost out to Ohio State. So with the penalty, they will be coming out from their own 5-yard line. Jamar Martin is set in front of Derek Combs in the backfield for the Bucks. Matt Mitrone changing things up defensively in the middle of the line. The cock look, Combs got a block on the corner and is brought down from behind at the 18-yard line. A gain of 12 yards, a first down as Derek Combs from Herbert Crest, Ohio, with the game's first carry. And our Chili's starting wide receivers, Kenyon Rambo, the speed merchant. Reggie Germany is there, and the tight end is Darnell Sanders. They will be working against these linebackers headed by Landon Johnson, who's back as a starter, and Ashante Woodyard, who dashed in with that blocked field goal for the win over Wisconsin in overtime. On a first down for the Bucks, they stay in the eye. They hammer with Combs again. Now our Chili starting lines for this game and some of the matchups. Adrian Clark out of Shaker Heights is the left tackle for the Bucks. Henry Fleming, the right tackle, actually is the blind side tackle for the Bucks today. against this very athletic defensive line. Matt Matrone from Springfield, Illinois, down there in the middle. Craig Terrell blocked that field goal a week ago in overtime and set up the winning touchdown. The Bucs stay in that basic I formation. Run Combs again. Short, I believe, of the first down. Johnson makes the stop, and Combs may be a bit gimpy. 43 limping a little bit as he starts off the field.
Combs hurt an ankle, just getting healthy again. Also, they were counting on him a bunch in this football game.
So Jerry Westbrook's number 27 is due to be the backup running back. He replaces Jonathan Wells in the rotation, and 27 is now on the field. The Bucs stay in that basic I, let's pound it formation. Third down and short, and here comes Westbrook. Got it.
Grant, I think you can see the offensive game plan evolve. The Dell Game Solutions, it's use Woody's old game plan. They have to run the football. Oh, there's Woody. He brought the game plan. Oh, man, Woody, thanks a lot. And they're going to get the big plays with the play action passes. And for Purdue's defense, great speed on the edge. They must attack from the edge, and no first half spot. Against Michigan, you mentioned it, and also against Northwestern, they fell behind.
Now Belisari to throw his first pass of the game. Right sideline. Rambo's open. Got it inside the 40-yard line at the 38. The linesman goes flying on that far sideline. 31 yards. Belisari to Rambo.
What hurts the DB? It's man-to-man coverage on the outside because you see the safety start to sneak up on the inside. Poor turn to the inside that time by the DB, and Rambo gets a catch early in the football game. Both of these receivers, Rambo and Germany, broke loose last week against Iowa.
Belisari coming off a 17-29 performance from Iowa. Increased his completion percentage from 45 to 52%. On the attack, snaps it off to Rambo again, and with his speed, he's out at the 30-yard line. Let's check in now with Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Grant, let's update you on Derek Combs. You saw him limping off the field. Well, indeed, he has rolled his ankle. The athletic trainer for Ohio State says they're going to evaluate it, but keep him out for a couple of series and then retape his ankle and see if he can go.
Second down and 3 for Ohio State. This time, Rambo is a slot man on the right side of Belisari. Westbrooks short of the first down, and here's what John Cooper had to say to our Gary Danielson about the key to winning today.
We got to run the football. We've got to run the football and keep it away from their high-powered offense. There's no way we can get in a scoring contest with Purdue. If we do, we'll lose again.
And already we're seeing evidence of that, Gary, what he told you about the running.
They are, and I think all week they've stressed that five-man unit up front has to come through for them. Run the ball between the tackles.
Need 2 yards between the tackles for a first down this time. No! Negative yardage that time, and Matt Matrone leads the defensive assault, number 98.
What did Coach Tiller say? To win, you got to make it a personal battle up front. Matrone that time beat his guy inside one-on-one, and that's how you stop a drive.
Danny Stultz is on for a 49-yard field goal attempt, and we know what happened the last time anybody attempted a long field goal against Purdue. This one's off. No good. The Buckeyes fail on their first drive. Drew Brees is coming to bat. Well, a lot of folks say that Michael Vick has a huge lead over Drew Brees in the race for the Heisman. Not so fast, my friends. Look at the touchdowns. 17 for Brees passing and 7 for Vick. Now, let's take a look at the rushing. This is an eye-opener. 550 yards for Vick, but 423 for Brees, who's averaging 5.7 yards a carry. So, folks, the one thing that Vic does hold an edge on, exciting highlights on SportsCenter.
Oh, one other thing, too.
Here's Brees, complete on the far side, incomplete. Right, Nate Clements got over there. Number 20 made a fine defensive play for the Buckeyes.
Ren, one other thing, too. His team is undefeated. If he goes down in Miami and wins that game, he gets to the national championship. That's pretty impressive, I think, for Virginia Tech again.
What if Brees goes the rest of the way unbeaten and winds up at Pasadena? I think that's pretty impressive.
If they win this game, he's going to make up for that Notre Dame and Penn State losses, and he'll be right in the middle of it, probably at the lead. Heupel, Brees, or Vic. Three-guy race now.
Yeah, because Crouch is probably eliminated today.
Three-man race.
Second down and 10. I think Drew Brees right in the thick of something. Montrell Lowe is stuffed right in the middle.
Matt Wilhelm won't get a lot of snaps in this game, like usual, because of the spread offenses, but he is impressive every time he's on the field.
This may be the best Big Ten defense, no doubt, we have seen this year. I want to tell you, this is a tough defensive front. Drew Brees is having difficulty moving the ball in large chunks downfield. He faces a 3rd and 11 right here. He's up under center. They're empty in the backfield. He gets great protection and got Stratton, and that's a first down. And that may be his best passing play of the day.
Well, the matchup that's been working has been Stratton on Bullard. And that's exactly what Drew Brees does best. He not only reads the defense and checks off, but he reads the defense and throws to the proper man. Here's the tight end. He's going to be matched up on the linebacker this time. You see it if you're the quarterback. Say, hey, I love my tight end against a linebacker. You throw the ball right there and you pick it up. It's more than just audibling. It's throwing to the proper receiver.
That offensive line did a heck of a job that time. Light, Murkowski, Jacoby, Turner, and Gorin. A great protective wall. 1st and 10. Snaps it off. Dropped. Second down and 10. College football on ABC is brought to you by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. AT&T, one-rate international plan all day, every day. Bud Light, with a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. And Burger King. Got the urge?
That ball looked a little overthrown to the outside, but Stratton kind of stumbled coming out of his break, and Drew was really on him in the huddle saying, get out of your break, I'm throwing on timing. But I, like you, Brett, I'm impressed with this Buckeye defense. They're tackling in the secondary extremely well.
Second down and 10. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up beautifully. Incomplete, though, on the pass, so the Buckeyes will take it. And there you saw that offensive line slide quickly into the gaps and pick up the blitzing Buckeyes.
Joe Taylor said the most important thing in a spread offense is having your offensive line know who to block. Watch the offensive tackle Gorin this time. He sees the blitz. He reads it. That's an excellent job by your offensive lineman to clean it up and keep it nice and neat for that quarterback.
Brees is only 1 of 4 on this drive, and he can't blame the offensive line. They're doing their job down there. 3rd down and 10. Now they overload the right side. Here's a blitz. Brees in the face of it. Throws with a great grab. Going out of bounds by Stratton.
Same matchup. You got a matchup that works, you take advantage of it. This is the way you play football in the NFL. If you find some spot in that defense, you make it work, and you make the defense change. What'll happen now, Fred Puggage will have to change his defense to stop this matchup that is not working well for the Buckeyes.
So 11 yards as Brees hits 2 big 3rd downs. Still no score. Purdue on its own 37-yard line.
Matchups there again. This time they're sliding the zone now.
Over the middle, and underneath it is Stratton, and so the Boilermakers have decided, Gary, that the tight end is going to be the go-to guy, Stratton.
He will be until the defense adjusts. Jim Chaney now will talk to Drew Brees. He said, let's force a pressure point here. Going to come across the formation. There's Wilhelm, the middle linebacker. He does not stop the receiver coming across the formation. You got to jam that guy. Good duck out of the way by the umpire that time, wasn't it?
That's 5 catches, Gary, for Stratton. 47 yards already in this game. And number 89 flexed a little bit on the left side of the line. Gives him these 5 receivers. Go out now for Brees, who's again giving great interception on a bad pass. Clemens picks it off, cuts back, picks up a block, and he's down at the 25. And the ball comes free, but he's down. That is the second interception thrown by Brees this game.
Fred Puggage changed his defense. He said, I'm not going to let you have that man-on-man matchup. I'm going to help with the secondary guy. This guy's going to go out. Drew Brees thinks it's man-to-man the linebacker right here. Watch what happens. To the wide side, the corner falls off and says, I'll help you. I'll help you. Here I am. He lets his guy go to the safety, and that's a great changeup by Freddie Puggage, the defensive coordinator for the Buckeyes.
He threw into triple coverage that time, Brees did. So now the Buckeyes and Belisari with a great chance from inside the 25. Juggle on the toss. Combs tries to battle his way back.
Boy, did Craig Terrell do a nice job. The guy who blocked the field goal last week got upfield that time and forced it back into that quick defense.
Cascio checks back in. And Brees again talking on the telephone.
Did not stay with his reads. He got fooled on that one. He got greedy. He thought it was going to be easy. He figured he had that tight end man-to-man. He was wrong.
2nd and 10 for Belisari and the Bucks. Takes the inside handoff and keeps it himself. The 20-yard line. They pick up 4 yards. Joe Odom makes the stop. 3rd down and 6. They throw to Combs underneath. Short of the 1st down on a nice stop by Aiken-Adell.
This defense for Purdue changed when Aiken-Adell went back to defensive end. He started out the year at linebacker because you saw his great speed right there. He's gone back defensive end, but he drops now. Gives the offenses much more problem reading it. That's the play that got the 1st down before him. But look at Adell close this time to make the tackle.
Here's Brees with that quick delivery, and it's back to number 89. They go again. Tim Stratton, who now has caught 8 passes for 70 yards.
One thing you can't do if you're a passing team is get intimidated by interceptions. You throw the ball to the tight end, you feel you have a favorable matchup, you keep going back to it, you just do a better job of reading it. And I think that's what you do. That's what the phone call was about. Drew, don't worry about the mistakes. Move forward, look forward at what you can do. Just amazed at that Purdue offensive line, how well they keep that pocket clean for Brees.
Passing twice as much as they run. Buckeyes stay with 4 down linemen. Rush 1 backer against Brees. 5-man rush. He throws back against the green. And a beautiful reception to Simpson, who's out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. That was a slick play by Drew Brees.
Threw across his body that time, and Michael Doss missed the tackle. He's had a few nice plays, but this time he comes across. I think it was Doss. It might have been Mitchell, number 3 or number 2. But you see it. Gets it to Simpson. And it was. Doss comes up, misses the tackle, and that's really the first missed tackle in the secondary I've seen by this Buckeye defensive secondary.
A.T. Simpson to the Purdue sideline. First down and goal. Brees will still take the direct snap. Purdue keeps the field spread. Stratton flex, 89. Quickly off the line, quarterback draw. Here comes Brees, spins, and he is a yard short of the end zone.
Very interesting, isn't it, Brent, that Ohio State was really geared to stop Montrell Lowe. So what Purdue does is take him out of the game and say, we're going to go at you with 5 wide receivers. If you've been ready to stop our running game, we'll make you stop something else.
Gary, I just saw another tremendous block by number 78, Matt Light. This is really an outstanding offensive line Joe Tiller had.
And so smart. Taylor talked about all the different protections they have.
Now Steve Ennis, a bigger back, in at that tailback spot. He'll take the toss. He'll go to daylight. Touchdown, Purdue leads it. Dorsch for the extra point. Nails it. So despite 2 Drew Brees interceptions this half, Purdue takes a 7-3 lead on the running game.
Running game with a little help from a big guy, one of those big pulling linemen. Watch that big guy coming out that time. Big number 79, Murkowski, comes out, and Ennis takes it right into the end zone.
You know, football is so big here at Purdue. The basketball team is always an outstanding draw. I think they got a flag thrown at the probably
on the offense. Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. They cancel.
Offset him.
The point is good.
Yep. So it's still 7-3. Co-captain Rodney Bailey doing a good job at defensive end, and he spoke with Gary early in the week about leadership on the Buckeye team.
Well, I think my job as a leader out there on the field is to make sure all my teammates are just positive and always up and not really worrying about the play before.
And that's the way they've been playing today. Tough, just like Bailey and the rest of these leaders want on this Buckeye defense. It's now 3rd and 10. You look from in behind. Drew Brees, who was dropped back in that shotgun look. 5 receivers, the tight end standing up. The offensive line able to give Brees protection, and he's got it to Sutherland to the 29-yard line. First down, Purdue, and again, 3rd and long. Brees has been lethal. That's 13 yards. That's at least 3 long 3rd down conversions for number 15.
Before it was to the tight end against Michigan. Brent, remember he was 14 of 18 against Michigan 2 weeks ago. But this is the guy, when he gets in trouble, he gets hooked up with. He goes to Vinny Sutherland, throwing it against a robber defense. That means a linebacker is playing center field in the middle of that short zone.
On first down, protection, pump fake, got Sutherland wide open, got him in a foot race. Nicky got him out of bounds. That's the play earlier when Sutherland couldn't hang on. This time he does, 45 yards.
This one was a bit different, Brent, in that he faked a little catch and go this time. He's going to come in, good protection, 4-man rush, and 5-man unit gives him space to hitch it and throw it. Same angle. Watch him come in and fake the square in and then go deep. Caught Nate Clemens leading, and this time, Son, I guess, I'm going to help him out. Son was in a better spot.
Oh, it's interesting that Clemens was over there on Sutherland that time. He got deep the first time on Derek Ross over there. So they had manned Clemens up, and they burned him. Pump fake again, and Brees comes right back the other way for the end zone. Incomplete. Andre Henderson, the intended receiver.
Drew was very fortunate that time. He got fooled on a blitz look, and he just turned and assumed that it would be man-to-man on the backside, and he didn't get that look.
So with a sellout crowd on hand, both of these teams in the Big Ten, Ohio State and Purdue, hope to keep driving toward Pasadena. Should either of them win out, they would be the Big Ten's representative in Pasadena. Michigan and Northwestern, of course, are hoping that Ohio State stops Purdue here today. That would help their chances. 2nd and 10. Brees up under center. Hands it off to Vinny on that flank around. And Derek Ross does a fine defensive job.
Vinny's so important in this offense. Let's take a look at what Vinny, I got him lightning quick. I mean, this guy is a 60-meter track guy. Low center of gravity, very hard to hit. And he's linked, linked to Drew Brees on 3rd down. Look for those two to link and hook up. Vinny Sutherland, a go-to guy for this offense.
Now it's 3rd and 12. So here's Brees again with one of those long third down situation. The first down marker would be at the 15-yard line. They show blitz. They're coming. Purdue picks it up. Short of the first down marker. Seth Morales pushed out of bounds.
I don't think the average fan understands how hard it is for offensive linemen to read that safety blitz. As Joe Tiller told us, Brent, sometimes they ask their offensive linemen to be responsible for 2 men in protection. Not only the guy lined up over them, but the potential inside blitzer coming from the secondary. And that's why only 7 sacks this year for Drew Brees.
So, Travis Dorsch to attempt a 34-yarder. Ben Smith is his holder. And Travis Dorsch puts Purdue ahead 10-3. Timeout. Purdue with 238 yards in this game, and Ohio State with only 133 as defense rules the day. Dorsch kicks it off. Rambo will try to light a fire under the Buckeyes with this return. Nothing doing as Purdue, the big surprise of this game, folks, is not that Ohio State's defense is playing well. It's the performance of this Purdue defense. They have been outstanding here today. First down for the Buckeyes. Here's Combs. And he is stopped. Taking a Dell, number 13, with another big game defensively. What about Vinny Sutherland here, Gary?
Well, Brandon, started out a little slow for Vinny. Caught 3 quick passes and then was out of the game. Nate Clements is the matchup that's going to be assigned and did a pretty good job early there. You see the 2 guys. That's good coverage. Even when the ball was thrown to him, Nate was right there to put the hit. But sooner or later, a little in and go with Vinny Sutherland, tough to bottle up.
Ohio State saves in that base I formation, but this time they finally go tight end. Fumble! Purdue has got it at the 46-yard line. And Joe Odom drops back with Darnell Sanders and makes the play on the fumble. And
I don't know if he hit the ground to cause the fumble or not. It happened so quickly. Ball thrown down the middle of the zone. Perfect pass by Belisari.
They do not have the advantage in the college game of looking at that monitor, so they're going to have to huddle up and have about 6 points of view, and they're going to say that he was down when he fumbled. So they will give it back on the Darnell Sanders catch, and now you get the advantage of instant replay. So take a look at this.
Odom's in coverage. The ball is thrown. Tackle, run. Well, I couldn't tell on that one.
Can't tell for sure, but from this angle, you should be able to see when the ball comes out.
Good hit by
Turner. He's got the ball. No question he had the ball. Belisari in the hole again, and this one's jarred.
Same guys.
Incomplete.
Ralph Turner again comes across, and maybe one, you know, in the NFL, Brent, they get 4 or 5 looks. We get at least 3, don't we?
Absolutely.
One more look, there's it. Turner comes up, hits him, he for sure has it, and his elbow came down as the ball was coming out. I don't know if he was juggling it or not with that one.
Is he considered down when the shoulder hits the ground in possession of the ball?
Seems to
the
be
officials ruled that he was down. 2nd down and 10. Play fake Belisari. From deep sideline. Got Germany. 1st down. Ohio State on the move.
Belisari is starting to play football now. There's no doubt about him being a physical quarterback. Great arm strength. The weaknesses have been in the past. He's not been accurate, and he himself talked about his lack of patience. I think in a game like this that becomes a shootout, you got to get him involved in the game plan.
Now Belisari driving the Bucks, who trail it by 7. Takes the inside handoff and then follows the back. And, you know, that play looks ugly when you watch it. That's the second time I've seen it today. And they're going to have to explain to me how they get Belisari more daylight that way than if they just run him on a quarterback draw play.
And I think he got dinged on this one, too. The backup quarterback job has been rotated between Craig Krenzel and Scott McMullen. I asked Chuck Stovart who it would be, and he said it would be Krenzel this game to start out with number 2.
He's got to come out for at least a play.
And
here comes Craig Krenzel, number 16, Gary.
It's that play that a lot of teams, Clemson does it, Northwestern does it. You fake it to a guy, and then you follow, and you can see right on the end of that play, Landon Johnson put his helmet right in the ribs.
So here is the freshman from Michigan, Craig Krenzel. Big fella. Before the snap. Belisari is standing on the far sideline, appears to be okay. Once he received medical attention, the rule is he comes out for a snap. Over there with Chuck Stovart on the far side.
False start on the offense.
And back he comes.
Remains second down.
He might have just got the wind knocked out of him for all we know.
Certainly did not appear to be serious. 2nd and 20 after the false start, so it was a costly few seconds there for the Buckeyes, wasn't it? Play fake now by Belisari, snaps it off, and he's got Rambo. And Rambo's got about 5 dark jerseys on him. A 10-yard gain. Gilbert Gardner was the first to hit him.
See, that's very effective, though. The last time Steve was in this situation, he threw the ball downfield. This time, in 2nd and long, he picks up half of it and keeps that Ohio State offense comfortable in this situation on 3rd and 10.
Well, you compare our 2 quarterbacks here today. Neither of them getting much rushing, I'll tell you that. It's been tough slugging out there today. 3rd down and 10. Bobble picked up. Belisari drops it off. And now Combs short of the 1st down, but he is close enough for a field goal attempt as Gardner makes another play. And here comes Stultz onto the field. Jack, I assume that was nothing serious suffered by Belisari.
Well, no, Brent, but it was another bullet dodged. He took a helmet in the back, in the small of his back. Talked to the athletic trainer, and they said it stung him for a moment, but now it's starting to wear off. They don't expect any lingering problems.
Now here's Stultz to attempt a 45-yarder. He broke their record, their scoring record, with that earlier field goal. And he's got his 2nd of the day. So Stultz pulls the Buckeyes a little bit closer. It's 10-6, though. Purdue leads it.
Did you know?
3rd down and 10. Here's Brees. Well, incomplete off Sutherland's hands. He was defended by Clement. This has not been the best of days, Gary,
no,
for Drew Brees.
Really. And what I think the Ohio State defense is doing a great job of is forcing good throws. Guys are not wide open here, and you have to make good throws to the outside. This one slightly behind Vinny. Only could get his left hand on it. It had to be thrown perfectly in front of him, and Drew did not do it.
4th down and 10. Now let's see what kind of a snap Kurz gets this time. They've been pounding on Stratton in the middle. Line drive to Clements. Fields it on the 11-yard line. Looks for a return right on a low returnable punt. The ball! And the Bucks have got it. Oh, that was dangerous, wasn't it, folks?
I think it would have been the ground causing the fumble anyway. The field judge said he was down. So
Drew Carter Bounced on it just in case. Take another look.
Great acceleration by Clemens this time. He made up his mind he was going to turn on the Jets, and he was flying over the tackle. And as he hits the ground, boom, there goes that ball up. And the Buckeyes fall on it. Ohio State survived the call.
Now Belisari and the Bucks. Here's Combs to the middle of that defense. Hey, Joe Odom, Gary, is having a monster down in the middle of that defense.
Joe Odom started the year in on the injured list, and Gilbert Gardner, a true freshman, started out in middle linebacker. As Joe has come back, moved Adele to those defensive end. The defense has been solid.
And Gary, number 47, Landon Johnson, looks like a big-timer. The coaches have been talking about him all year. He looks like he can play, too.
4'4" linebacker. That's not height I'm talking.
Play fake Belisari and deflected as he rolled around. Adele was not buying it on that side, Gary. Just what you talked about. He makes a difference when they moved him up.
He had 11 sacks as a sophomore, and the strategy, and Joe Tiller kind of shook his head yesterday saying, I don't know why we did it, but we moved him to linebacker. Number 13, the top of your screen right there, gets his big paws on it.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Buckeyes in I formation.
Play fake to Combs. Belisari gets time, snaps it off. 1st down. Germany keeps the drive alive, and they're into Purdue territory at the 46-yard line.
Only 2 receivers went out for a pass that time for Ohio State. Chuck Stobart, the offensive coordinator, smelled the blitz. He did not get it, but it was perfect execution by that guy right there, Germany, and Belisari's throw. No blitz, nobody out but the 2 wideouts, and he throws the comeback to the outside.
Germany, 4 catches for 39 yards. Rambo, 5 for 65. Here's the pitch now to Combs. And he's to the 36-yard line. Another Buckeye 1st down, I believe. We'll see where they spot it. He may be a little bit short. I think where they spot it's going to... Yeah, it'll be short. Cooper looking for just 1 drive the way his defense is playing. Just 1 touchdown drive is what John wants right now.
Brendan, looked like he went to Chuck Stobart. They were in 4-down territory right there.
Well, 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, there's the play-action call.
They won't need it. They go back to Darnell Sanders, the tight end.
Darnell Sanders is a high school quarterback. He's grown a little. 265 yards.
I'd say. Think about that fellow as a QB. Huh? That was 60 more yards, Gary.
6'6", 265 now. He was in there Thursday watching a lot of tape.
Now let's see what Cooper and the Buckeyes come up with here at the 22-yard line. This is a very important series. You can tell on John's face he realizes it too. He'd like to get a touchdown this time and not a field goal. Purdue will have a different idea defensively. Here comes Combs. You could bet on it. And Purdue is ready for it. They read it. Kutavides was right there. Belisari gets time, and the middle is wide open. Reggie Germany reaching for the end zone, comes up just short. Ralph Turner kept him a yard short, but it's a 21-yard gain, and now the Buckeyes are in business, Gary.
Why has Steve Belisari grown as a quarterback? He's finally comfortable with himself. Nice pass to the middle. Purdue's defense gets confused this time. Clapton leaves his receiver, and Germany in the middle of the defense. The middle of the defense where you have to attack. Ohio State gets it down to the 1-yard line.
The Buckeyes once led 3-0. They haven't led since. And now a chance. Here's the big fullback. Battling for the end zone. Touchdown, Jamar Martin. So the battle continues with the Buckeyes leading it for the second time today. Stoltz adds the... Reggie Germany, eh?
Yeah, that guy got the touchdown, but this third down catch and throw by Germany to the outside, with 2 receivers out, and then come back with a curl route over the inside of the defense. Both throws right at the face mask, and boy, that's how you move the ball downfield. And you stick it in the end zone with the old Woody Hayes, robust, off-tackle fullback.
So 8 plays, 62 yards, and 252 for Belisari and the Buckeyes. 4 running plays, 4 passing plays, and Belisari 3 of 4 for 49 yards with Jamar Martin capping it off as he battles, and I do mean battles his way. Here comes the Munster. Clopton brings this one from the goal line. Got an alley. Can he get to it? He does. 30. Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Clements pushes him out. And Drew Brees and the Boilermakers with excellent field position.
And Clopton that time kind of set up the return himself by leaning inside and then took it at the last second to the wide side.
So Drew Brees, who has thrown the most interceptions since he coughed up 4 against Michigan State last year. He has 3 here today. He still has not thrown a touchdown pass against Ohio State.
And we have not, again, seen Lowe. Montrell Lowe has not been in the game. We're going with a bigger back.
Cedric Brown, he gets the first on a fake, and it's incomplete. Nice play action by Brees. Stratton, the intended receiver. And the Buckeyes look like they want to hit somebody right now,
and
Gary.
it was Joe Cooper hitting Drew Brees that time, too.
So a sellout crowd on hand. As the battle for the Rose Bowl moves center stage in Big Ten land. And the winner here today in the driver's seat for sure. Went out. And the winner of this game will go to Pasadena and the Rose Bowl. Michigan and Northwestern, both still very much in the race, however. And they will meet next week on ABC at 3:30 Eastern Time. Brees pulls out. Complete to Stratton, the tight end. Bullard was back there along with Mitchell.
And Joe Brown, defensive tackle, put Brees down after he threw the ball.
Well, here is our sprint game pack. Pay attention to this, Mr. Danielson. Listen up here, partner. Brees has thrown to 29 different receivers in 3.5 years. You hit 20 different guys in 3 years. You spread the ball around pretty good.
Most of those were laterals, weren't they? Running at wishbone.
We call them receivers.
That's right.
I'm gonna make them look good.
Nice.
Come on. It's third down now. Brees sacked.
That's
at the 35 by Mr. Joe Cooper. If you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, and there was Mr. Cooper.
The whole Buckeye bench exploded on this one. Number 10, right up the gut. One of the few busted assignments inside by that offensive line. Rob Turner didn't get the inside linebacker. That's job number 1 when you're in there. I think it was Ian Allen actually in there, one of the substitutes. And Brees goes down for the second time.
Steve Kurz. And a whistle just prior to the snap. I can't remember. Have we had another 3 and out for Purdue this game? We've had 1 in the second quarter. So Roger Riley, the stats guy, said this is number 2 of the game. It isn't very often that you get him 3 and out.
I'll tell you what, I've seen more punts in this game than I've seen in a lot of Purdue games.
Would the timer please reset the clock to read 2:19?
Now the Buckeyes need to not make any mistakes in their offense now. They got to go for more points. It'll be a long fourth quarter against this Purdue Boilermaker team.
So 2 Heisman Trophy candidates have bad Saturdays. One, Eric Crouch at Nebraska. He's already lost. And here, Drew Brees is in a battle for survival. Another bad snap, and Kurz gets it off. Here's Clements. Looking for daylight. He's got it. Got a man in front of him. Breaks free. Touchdown, Ohio State. $84 yards for Nate Clements. The biggest problem he had, folks, was getting his own teammate out of his way on the far sideline.
John Cooper said to me Thursday, Brent, I just hope we do well on the punt game. I think the punt game will determine the outcome of the game. Well, this is pretty good in the punt game. As you said, he pushed away one guy and then just raced for the end zone, Nate Clements.
The extra point is good. So Danny Stoltz boosts the Buckeyes into a 10-point lead after the Clements punt return for a touchdown.
Once he hit the seam, and it was easy to see up here, he just sprinted to the end zone. Clemens struggled against Minnesota with some big catches. Comes up big here against Purdue.
B.J. Berry was the young defensive back, number 19 on the punt team, who Clemens had to clear out of the way. And this is probably the first time in a long time that Michigan has pulled hard for Ohio State, because remember, late in November, the Wolverines would go to Columbus, and they would love to face Ohio State in a one-game showdown for Pasadena.
Yeah, let's see. Does that ever been happen before that?
And Northwestern, too, is hoping for the Buckeyes to hold on here and then lose down the road if they can win out. So still a lot of things left to unfold in the Big Ten. And here's Clapton again. To the 27. We check in with the Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, Nate Clements has a very special tutor. For the most part, he talks to this tutor about his cornerback position. But after looking at that run, I'm sure that his tutor, Joey Galloway, talked to him a little bit, too, about how to dance with the football.
Yeah, exactly. Clements, who has an interception, which led to a field goal, and a punt return for a touchdown, has been super scintillating tough today for Ohio State. And Drew Brees now has gone almost 7 quarters without a touchdown pass against Ohio State. Incomplete. Clements defending that pass on the far side. And suddenly it looks like a frustrated Drew Brees, if you can read his facial expression a little bit.
No easy throws out there. That time Clemens squatted on that out. It had to be perfect to the outside. It was almost like, if my guy can't get it, nobody can get it. And those are tough throws.
Gary's missed 5 of his last 6.
And nothing easy out there. The secondary has come to play for Ohio State.
Purdue down by 10. He's flushed from the pocket again. This time, though, he gets it to Standifer, who now breaks free to the 42-yard line. 26 yards.
You miss 5 in a row. But if you're one of those guys like a shooting guard in the NBA, all you're thinking of, that means the odds are in my favor. Look at this throw against the grain, against the body, to the freshman in the middle of the zone. That's one of those, if it gets picked off, everybody's booing.
Ryan Pickett was the defensive lineman in pursuit of Brees that time, number 79. First down and 10 for Brees. Final minute 12 here at the third quarter. As he has to get that mouthpiece out just to change up the play. Gets good protection again. Comes to Standiford underneath, and Mitchell delivers the blow at the 38-yard line.
Ohio State changed their entire front four. Fresh faces in there to rush the passes.
Now Brees, and it's batted away as the pocket collapses, and that's one of the few times today that we have seen the protective pocket absolutely collapse with Rodney Bailey getting a big paw on the football.
Remember, fresh faces in there that time. They were ready to come into it. And after a punt return for touchdown, you have to always think that way. Good job by Freddie Puggage to realize that the defense had just been out there, then the punt return touchdown, so they're back on the field again.
The Buckeyes are doing something that Michigan did not. They are keeping Purdue in 3rd and long. It would be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 against the Wolverines. Here today, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. A huge difference. Brees will try to convert now. Gets great time. Got it. Donald Winston, 13 yards on the reception.
A little surprised we haven't seen Vinny Sutherland. He hasn't been returning the kickoffs, and he's not even in here on these key 3rd down plays. Winston is in his position right here over the middle. That's usually the ball Sutherland catches. And Winston comes up with a huge catch.
Maybe he's hurt, huh?
That's what I was just wondering about, Ray. I haven't seen him in a while. Looking on the sideline and don't see him.
Whether you're a pro or an amateur, you'll love.
I'll tell you, Mr. Danielson, it has been a determined Buckeye defense here today.
Right, it's been a combination, Brent. They've been doing everything. Good coverage in the secondary, and then that front seven. They've been on a mission up there, and they've been forcing a lot of mistakes by the offensive line, and they've been coming.
Yeah,
I felt it before. Forcing a lot of tough throws and bad throws from Drew.
Brees fires on the slant, incomplete. And again, you can see the contact by the secondary. David Mitchell, number 3, was right there that time. Mike Doss, Derek Ross, Nate Clements, Donnie Nicky. We've seen them all.
Yep. They've all been doing a good job, and I think John Tenuta and Freddie Puggage, the 2 defensive coordinators, have done a good job of emphasizing you gotta hit. Only 87 yards. When you throw the ball as much as Purdue has, only 87 yards after completions, that's huge.
2nd down and 10. Time, and that time, now it could be taking its toll as the freshman turns. Standiford with Clemens closing in quickly. And you can see how the accumulation of hits by the defensive back starts to take its toll. And Purdue really misses Vinny Sutherland coming up here on this 3rd down.
He does. We have a report that he went to the locker room, and you can see it. The Purdue receivers, I also feel, Brett, they feel the pressure of what's out there. That Rose Bowl sitting out there. They know they have to win this game. Ohio State's been in this position before.
Brees only 8 of 20 here in the second half. Needs 10 yards. Needs to get to the 15-yard line. Got his time. Throws. Yes, a grab. A beauty. Seth Morales skies and pulls it down. First down. As big a catch as Purdue has had. 16 yards by Morales.
Morales, the walk-on transfer from Butler, came here. Joe Tiller said, we'll let you walk on. We don't think you have much of a chance. Well, it's exactly what they needed. A big catch from the receiver. Morales gave it to him.
Jack, what about Vinny Sutherland?
Well, quickly, he tweaked his knee, but that's not the reason he's out. He started to get severe cramping. They've taken him inside for an IV.
The Boilers from the 9-yard line with first down. Brees to throw on first down, and on the slant, Morales again inside the 5-yard line. And now they're in that situation where Brees can run the quarterback draw if he wants.
Really good job. All quarterbacks, if you're a young quarterback or you're teaching the passing game, throw the ball low over the middle. Your receivers will love you. They catch it and they fall down and they don't get a mouthful of helmet. Ask Deshaun Johnson about that. Deshaun said, hey, throw the ball to me a little earlier, please.
And that's his 16th 300-yard game passing. Second down and goal. And movement. That'll cost Purdue 5 yards. Brandon Gorin and perhaps the tight end broke the snap count, and it's a costly 5 yards down here.
On the offense.
Joe Tiller knows, though, that trailing by 10, if they don't get the touchdown down here, obviously on 4th down, he'll go for the field goal. Now,
Yep.
now there's a fellow who's real nervous.
Chewing some ice.
It's just, you know, Joe's busy.
Got ice water in his veins, doesn't he?
That's right. They're back now on that 9-yard line.
It was a bigger mistake than 5 yards because the Ohio State secondary was discombobulated. They were really out of position. They are again.
They haven't been for long, though. Here's the quarterback draw from the 9, and this won't do it. You can smell it coming, folks. If we can smell it up here, I guarantee you those big Buckeyes can. And Joe Cooper was closing in fast. He's been praying that Mr. 15 will take off.
Well, they always say if you're going to talk, you got to walk. And Joe Cooper's walk today, that's what his coach asked him to do. And I think his teammates are trying to bail him out, too.
Now 3rd and goal. The one thing he cannot afford here is an interception. They must have at least the field goal. Brees knows it, in trouble, waits. He's got to throw it out of the end zone. Adams, touchdown, Standiford. Oh, my. The drought is over. Drew Brees finally has a touchdown pass against Ohio State. He has nicked every Big Ten team for at least one, and this one could not have come at a bigger time for Purdue. And Dorsch closes the Boilermakers to within 3.
Very subtle. Watch Drew Brees fake the quarterback draw. He goes up in the pocket, tries to draw coverage, and then he's just trying to buy time. Please, somebody open up a safe throw to the back. The freshman gets his foot in. What a nice job by Brees adding something to the play.
So Standiford gets behind Clements and beats him for a touchdown. Timeout. Returns from the Purdue locker room just in time. His team still trails it by 3. And now the Buckeyes are looking for a lift. A 17-point 3rd quarter, and Rambo decides to take a knee and bring it out on the 20-yard line.
One more look. Offensive line stuffs him up front. Brees comes up, doesn't know quite who to throw to, but look at that great footwork. Straddles to the outside and then buys time and finds the freshman at the back of the end zone line and puts it right there.
Clements hesitated in the back of that end zone, and that's all that Standiford needed to run to the sideline and catch that pass from Brees, who thought he had his tight end early, but the Buckeyes had him sealed up. Now a 3-point war going on, and it's Belisari's turn. The Buckeyes stay in that base formation, their base I. Here's the toss. And Sean Phillips was in pursuit, and Combs made the most of it. We check in with Jack Arute.
Brent, if you remember, we sat down with Joe Tiller. He said before the Michigan game, the concern he had about his team is that they didn't believe that they belonged in big games. When they came from behind in Michigan, he said, hey, that was the turning point. Now my guys believe that they belong in a big game. He is certainly having to talk to his players now and remind them that they got to come from behind and believe that they are where they need to be.
They lost heartbreakers to Notre Dame and Penn State. Now they're trying to stop Belisari and Ohio State. And before the snap, The penalty flags come down, and there might have been movement on the right side of the Buckeye offensive line. So let's quickly check in with John Saunders. John, what happened to the Fighting Irish here today? Yeah, John, you know, the Irish could wind up 9-2 and with a pretty good bowl bid before this baby's over. First down and 15 after the penalty against the Buckeyes. Throws for the sideline on Rambo, and he is cut off by Clopton, and Rambo initiates the contact, and no penalty flag. College football on ABC is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. The United States Army, be all you can be. Ameritrade, it's how you get somewhere on Wall Street. And Dell, providing the infrastructure to power your e-business.
Good job by Brock Spack that time. He called the defense that invited the checkoff by Belisari. It was checked off, and he switched to zone.
Belisari got good protection that time, and he went back to Reggie Germany. Germany making the play with Landon Johnson back defensively, and holding is the penalty.
I think it was Sean Phillips, the freshman defensive end, trying to come around the corner that time on Henry Fleming. The blind side, you mentioned it early, with a left-handed quarterback. That right tackle is the guy that sometimes is yanking on those guys. I think it was to the top of the screen out there, coming from the top side, an arm hook, and kind of yanks him down from behind.
So Cooper's team now faces a 2nd and 25. They'll probably be patient, try to get about half of it back. Westbrooks is in as a running back. They've got him, and Westbrooks finds a nice running lane out to the 30-yard line, and that pulls him back 12 yards, so they've got about 4 to go as Stuart Schweigert, one of the better freshmen around, makes the play.
Nice job. They ran this into the teeth of the blitz. You see Johnson, number 47, Odom rush from the same side, and they run the isolation play right into it. Good job picking it up. Not a surprise. The Buckeyes expected the blitz coming off the slot all game.
So they got almost half of it back. Now a workable 3rd and 13. Belisari, and Rambo's out of bounds, short of it. Short of the first down. Chris Clopton, the Munchkin. And Sutherland back on the field. He'll return this punt, and the crowd welcomes him back.
So much reminds you of Tim Dwight, the Iowa Hawkeye. Went on to the Atlanta Falcons, same type of player.
Sander back to punt for the Bucks. Then he slips and now tries to make sure that he's away from the football as it rolls just inside the 10-yard line.
If you're disabled and unable to work, pay attention to the following message.
And for 74 yards and the touchdown.
And I think at one point he had missed 5 in a row before that.
Vinny Sutherland back in the game, one of the go-to receivers. And they snap it quickly, and they hit it out of bounds. At the 26-yard line, Cortland Bullard.
Jim Chaney says that Purdue brought the bubble screen into football, but that we don't call it much anymore. Well, this was the bubble screen, and both receivers to that side with the trips got their block. You're going to see the ball go out real quickly. Long handoff. Now watch the blocks. There's one, there's two, both guys on the ground, and then quickness by Vinny gets around the corner.
Cedric Brown is the running back next to Drew Brees. incomplete as the receiver Morales slipped. Let's go to Jack.
Brent, when Drew Brees wants solitude and inspiration, he retreats to a quiet room and sits in this leather chair, all by himself. It's the video room for the football squad. Drew Brees reviews video of opponents. Let's hope he got some inspiration for this run.
It won't be quite so quiet out there, Mr. Root, right now. With 11:08 to go in 2017, and Drew Brees and the Boilermakers are trailing it by 3.
Let's see if they don't go back to that tight end matchup with Stratton again here now.
Second down and 10. Stratton's off the line. They've got him. Cooper, the defender. But it was far from a first down. And a reminder, at the end of this game, we'll select the Chevrolet player of the game from each team. And Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Here's 3rd and 5.
Vinny Sutherland is the go-to guy in this situation. Stratton has been today.
Stratton has tied his career high with 10 catches. Here's Sutherland, number 14. He's off to the quarterback's right. They need 5 yards. This is not 4-down territory under any respect here. But he's got it. And there's his go-to guy. And that's his new career high. 11 catches for Stratton.
Stratton, an All-Big Ten player returning this year. Back, you can almost feel it. You're not quite sure who to go to, so you throw to the guy that's matched up against the linebacker. Bullard has had a long day covering that. He needs help, and you assume that Ohio State will change up their defense and give him some help.
First down and 10. And now it's Lowe back on the field. So Montrell Lowe. So before a sellout crowd, you can see the sun starting to set. The Musco lights are on around Ross-Age Stadium. We got 9:47. It's Big Ten football 2017. The Buckeyes lead the Boilermakers. Second down, the winner in command as far as the Rose Bowl is concerned. Brees hands it off to Lowe again, and that's a good stop by Kenny Peterson, number 97 for the Buckeyes.
It's a very surprising play. I think Kenny Peterson is the nickel rush end in the game. He's in there and makes a stop on a running play. Purdue tried to cross up and run a running play against the nickel front, and all of a sudden, that nickel back comes in, the nickel defensive end comes in and stuffs him. Another 3rd and medium.
So on 3rd down, Brees is 13 of 60. He has been lethal on 3rd down. Got it again. Now he's 14 of 17, and it is Stratton, defended by Bullard for 10 yards, and Purdue moving the ball. Yes, Jack.
Well, Brent, Tim Stratton was in Joe Tiller's doghouse after that come-from-behind victory against Michigan because he handed his helmet off to a buddy to celebrate on top of the goalpost while they were tearing them down. Tiller told him he'd have to pay for the helmet or he'd have to sit out the Northwestern game. Then he got an email, said, come pick up the helmet. It was right underneath the goalpost, and a fan had returned it.
Sutherland slips in motion. They got a 3-pack on the left side, and we've got a timeout. So we'll take a break. And Brees with a pump fake fires deep for Sutherland. In and out of his hands. He'd slipped a step past Derrick Ross. Brees has already thrown 34 completions here today, and that's a season high. He's 34 of 58, folks. He's going right over 60.
This was the exact play that was dropped earlier in the game. They faked a hitch to the outside and then try to go down the field with a fake screen to the outside, and Vinny kind of skinny and up the sideline. Both times, catchable balls. Both times, no completion.
So it's 2nd and 10. Here's Brees. Just in time on the release to Morales as he took a lick.
Brees is really amazing how quickly he can change his sights, find a new target, and then lead the ball perfectly in front. Watch, right? 1, 2, 3. Then he finally finds, just as he sees him, lets the ball go.
That was Clint Wayne, number 90, who hit Brees just as he was releasing it. And now Purdue faces a 3rd and 5. Here comes the blitz. Well picked up. Got it. Sutherland in a foot race. Out at the 25-yard line. That's 15 more yards and a big first down. And cool and collected now. Drew Brees is driving the Boilermakers.
Bunch this time. A little bit of a same twist pattern. You come inside. You go back outside. Line up in a bunch formation. It's very difficult to jam receivers in that situation and play bump and run. Who's the go-to guy? You have no idea. When you run a varied offense, sometimes you like to match up with the tight end, then you go back to him.
So this is the 4th time in his career that Drew Brees has thrown 60 or more passes. The next one is number 61. It's low, and Wayne jumps right on his back as he comes through the middle of the line.
That Ohio State defense continues to stay with the basics. Stop the run first. Don't want to start giving low opportunities to gash into that secondary. Purdue now up to 82 plays in the game, Brett. 52 for Ohio State.
Well, Purdue has dominated the second half in terms of number of plays. 2nd down and 9. Remember, the Buckeyes scored on a punt return. Nate Clemens for a touchdown. And they got him on the slant. Drew Brees to Standiford with Clemens defending him. Here's another big 3rd down. Got it into Sutherland. Foot race, dives, touchdown! Oh, baby! 19 yards, Purdue!
Same play.
Dorsch adds the extra point. Purdue leads it by 4. 24-20. And Vinny Sutherland with 10 catches for the day and 142 yards.
Same play to the right side as the first down play. Come in, go back out. A missed tackle by Derrick Ross, and that's why those yards after catch can kill you. Go ahead, come back out, same as the 3rd down completion. Doss slips down, Ross missed the tackle, and there's that speed.
Put me right back in the middle of that Heisman race, too, ladies and gentlemen. Purdue leads it, timeout. Brees could be coming to Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. Purdue leads it. They've dominated the second half, and the Buckeye defenders could be gasping for a little air here, Gary.
Oh, Ohio State 19 plays, Purdue 42 plays. I think it's affected the Ohio State defense. The big punt return, that often happens with a punt return like that.
Now the Buckeyes need a lift. And here comes Jonathan Wells out of bounds at the 17-yard line, short of the 20. Time permitting, the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report will be coming your way. John and Terry will bring you all the scores and highlights from around the country on a big Saturday. In the big one, Oklahoma, after spotting Nebraska, 2 quick touchdowns, came back and blew them out 31-14. OU figures to jump to number 1 in every poll imaginable.
Yeah, you don't need computers to figure that out, do you?
No, sir. First down and 10. Belisari. Now under pressure, and he's smacked. Fumble! Purdue, I believe, may have jumped on it.
I think he was down. At least they're calling it down. I don't know if he was down, but they're calling it down.
So a break goes Ohio State's way.
Right. John, I think, was very upset that Steve did not throw the football. You can't stop. It's an overloaded line. He ducks down. The ball came out almost simultaneously. It's a break for the Buckeyes.
As he was rolling, the ball started to fly free, but his knee might have been down. An official might have seen it, and it's entirely possible, folks, that that's a very good call. Second down and 14. Now Belisari steps up, middle, incomplete. Reggie Germany had a crack at it and couldn't make what would have been a fine catch. Now it's 3rd and 14, and this is as big a play as Ohio State's had all day offensively.
Shawnee Woodward, number 7. I don't know if he touched that ball or not, but he was right there in coverage for Purdue. The only thing the Buckeyes have going for them also, though, is they do have all 3 timeouts left.
Ohio State is only 3 of 12. Only 3 of 12 on 3rd down. They need 14. Belisari, incomplete.
Missed them. Wide open.
B.J. Sander back, and here's the man of the hour, Vinny Sutherland, with cramps and an injury. Took some time off, came back and scored the go-ahead touchdown. Lightning quick, hoping to give Drew Brees and Purdue good field position again. Picks up the bobble.
Yes.
Penalty flags fly from every direction.
Terrible penalty.
Sutherland is out of bounds, but penalty flag thrown back by the 35-yard line. You saw it, Gary.
Yes, it was Cedric Brown from behind a push. It really wasn't necessary. There was no way that guy was going to make a tackle.
Joe makes a little notation on that.
Well, take a look here. Purdue's offense, I said they needed help from low. Didn't get any. No negatives. Got a lot of negatives. 3 interceptions. And Ohio State did a decent job of limiting yards after catch, and they stayed in the game. Did disrupt the timing, but when you stay in the game, I think the key point, Brent, was they didn't keep number 15 on the sideline enough. The offense for Ohio State didn't make enough first downs.
And here is number 15, Drew Brees, bending back down in the huddle. This all began when they were trailing Michigan 28-10. That's when this drive for Pasadena switched into high gear. They rallied in the second half to beat Michigan. Blew out Northwestern, beat Wisconsin in overtime. And now they've rallied to take the lead with 4.5 minutes against Ohio State. And Lowe working against the clock. And he goes, they keep it winding. He was stopped before he stepped out of bounds. So the clock continues to move.
This is the toughest part of the spread offense. Jim Chaney kind of talked about it to us, saying, you know, when we get in that situation with about 4 minutes to go, what do? You want to hold on to the ball. You like to drain time off the clock. And I think you got to let number 15 have a chance to keep the drive alive. He's your senior. Put the ball game in his hands.
Second down and 12. And Brees keeps it himself. Takes a lick at the 30-yard line. And you know, Joe Tiller has done such a marvelous job around here. We asked Matt Matrone, the defensive lineman, how would you describe Coach Tiller after you leave Purdue to somebody? And here's what Matt had to say.
He's motivated, that's for sure. And he understands what the human psyche needs to be always hungry, and that he's always challenging and stimulating us like that.
There's a very good feeling about their head coach around here, folks. He's a very popular figure with players and certainly fans, and that's a football player right there, Matt McClure. Now that's a football face, isn't it? That's a beauty. Third down now for Brees. And they were on him. Intercepted! Intercepted! Brees can stop him. He does. He knocks him out of bounds. Brees was the only defender who could knock Mike Doss out of bounds. A disaster for Purdue. The fourth interception of the game. And now the Buckeyes can take the lead with 3:09. That's the fourth interception of the game and the second by Doss.
Joe Cooper is the guy that comes free, number 10, right up the middle. Brees tries to throw it away, throws a duck, and look what happens. And just before the play was called, Joe Chiller was pointing to his head and saying to his offense, think, think, think. We don't need a big mistake. And that's exactly what happened.
So the drama continues here. Chiller and Purdue had this game completely in control. Westbrook stopped. Second down and goal. And now, Gary, you got to wonder what the Ohio State offense is going to come up with here, because they've got to get – they can't just run this off tackle play against the middle of this Purdue defense.
Well, they're in 4-down territory. I know that. They're down by 4 points. And one of the things you got to do if you're Ohio State, you know what they'd like to do? They'd like to score on 4th down is what they'd like to do if they had their choice, because they would bleed the clock as much as they could.
Belisari's a good runner. If they can get him on the outside, he's a left-handed thrower. They got to get him some room now. Here's second down, play fake, Belisari to throw, and incomplete. The linesman right there rules it was incomplete. And it goes to third down for the Buckeyes, and the clock stops at 2:21.
Every Buckeye fan in Ohio right here, or everywhere really, held their breath on this throw. This was almost intercepted. Just a big hand on it, saved an interception, and it would have been picked off.
That was Ben Hartsock's paw, which knocked that one away from Ashante Woodyard. And now, folks, here's third and goal from the 2-yard line. Belisari off that tight formation on the toss play. Westbrook's touchdown! Touchdown! Going for one right now to give them a 3-point lead with 2:16 to go. Stoltz for the extra point. Purdue rushes the 11th man on the field. He's got it. Purdue needs a field goal to tie it, a touchdown to take the lead. 2:16 to go. Cooper's got the lead. 2:16 with Clopton back. He'll try to give the Boilers some field position. High at the 5-yard line. Here comes the Munchkin. Munchkin's got an alley. 30. Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So down the stretch come the Purdue Boilermakers here with one timeout. And, of course, the clock stops on a first down. Huge difference in the college game. Dorsch could tie it with a field goal. They're 13 of 22. But, folks, I'm going to tell you, overriding everything is the fact that Ohio State has intercepted him 4 times here today. That ties his career high. Remember, he did that a year ago against Michigan State.
But he's got the ball back, and he's got 2 minutes for redemption. We saw redemption last time against Michigan with the field goal kicker.
On first down, deflected. It's now second down and 10.
I think Joe Cooper knocked that one down, too. He's been all over the field.
He put himself on the line when he popped off, but he has backed it up here today.
Usually in this situation, Brent, I think the deep offense has the advantage because of the pressure. But after you've thrown 4 interceptions like this, I gotta believe Drew Brees is feeling it right now.
Second down and 10. Offensive line continues to do a great job. Wide open. Got him. Touchdown Purdue. Seth Morales. Holy Toledo. Brees to Morales.
The most clutch pass I've seen in 10 years of doing college football.
There's a penalty flag on the extra point, which was good by Travis Dorsch.
Scans the field, knows he has it, and he doesn't miss it. What a play. My heart's pumping. Oh, your heart is pumping.
One of the biggest touchdown passes in Big Ten history. They'll be replaying this one for years.
And after he threw it, he went over about the 35-yard line and took a knee, and you could see the pressure just go out of his body.
Gary, I want to go back on one thing. When he threw that horrendous interception, he had the presence of mind to get pursuit. He had the angle on the defensive back. And even though Ohio State scored, he banged him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Drew Brees is a great competitor. And last week against Wisconsin, he demonstrated it not throwing, not running, but blocking. This is a young man who comes to play football. And what a job he has done here today. 455 yards. Yes, he's thrown 4 interceptions. But how about 3 touchdowns and 65 passes?
Well, the Buckeyes get the ball back. Let's not forget that. 1:55 to go, and they've got all 3 timeouts left.
Here's Rambo looking for an alley. And he's down at the 30-yard line. Now Belisari and the Buckeyes. Blitz is picked up, and then Aiken Adele comes in from the side and says, how do you do?
Same play that he almost fumbled the ball on last time. Again, Steve does not continue out of the pocket and gets hit.
Purdue 31, Ohio State 27. A minute and a half to go. And moments ago, after throwing a horrendous interception, Drew Brees goes to Seth Morales, a walk-in transfer for Butler for the 64-yard touchdown, and Purdue regains the lead. Let's check in with Jack Arute. Partner, we've seen some great ones this year, but none better than this one.
Boy, this is a terrific one. And you were talking about Morales. He transferred from Butler University, and over there he caught 32 passes for 549 yards as a freshman. But Brett, he went to his parents and he said, you know, I want to play at Purdue. He called Joe Tiller. Joe Tiller tried to talk him out of transferring. His parents tried to talk him out of transferring. He disarmed both parties by saying, look, aren't you entitled to living a dream? They reluctantly approved his transfer here, and the rest is history.
The way this one's going, you better get a story out about Kenyon Rambo. A minute and a half, and there was movement. Penalty flag is down, and Belisari is tackled by Sean Phillips, but there was a penalty flag on the play.
Aiken Adele jumped early that time, number 13 for Purdue.
This big, fine football game. John Cooper's Buckeyes against Joe Tiller's Boilermakers. for the Buckeyes. And remember, they're down 31-27. So there ain't going to be any field goal here, folks. They got to go for the touchdown. Purdue's got it. Purdue's got it. Landon Johnson recovers the fumble.
I think the ball hit the guy going in motion across the formation. Shotgun play. As a guy goes in motion right here, I think it hits him as he goes by. That's exactly what happened. Shotgun snap. The receiver doesn't clear on the play, and there's the ball laying on the ground. And that's the quarterback's fault. The quarterback has to give the foot a little later to allow the receiver to clear the center.
Now, the handoff, and Montrell Lowe goes to work on the Buckeyes to the 17-yard line. Well, for those of you who may have joined us at the top of the hour, there was a time when it looked like it was going Ohio State's way. Number 10, Cooper, comes in on Brees, who slips off balance. Bad decision. Here comes Doss. Now look who has the only angle and who could save the touchdown. Brees bangs him out of bounds. Then he comes back after giving up the touchdown, and he goes 64 yards to Morales. And Brees and Purdue could indeed be headed to Pasadena. Win out, and they'll go to the Rose Bowl. They haven't been there since '66, when our colleague, Mr. Bob Greasy, led them out to Pasadena. And now Drew Brees and the Boilermakers huddle down to bring the seconds off the clock. The schedule. They go to Michigan State. Remember now, next week, they're idle. They get a big week off to get ready for the Spartans who won today. Then they'll close out right here against Indiana. I will tell you right now, folks, it will not be easy for Purdue up at Michigan State. You, Gary, are the one who told me that.
Antoine Randall held the last week, but Michigan State's defense, I think the two corners are as good as any two in the league. They held Illinois to only 10 points today. But you got to figure that Drew Brees is going to throw the ball against anybody. 455 yards passing the ball today. Who cares about interceptions when you put those kind of yards up? Didn't have his greatest day, but the finish, as I say, I'll say again, Brett, the best clutch pass I've seen in 10 years of doing college football. You've been here a little longer, but I was amazed at the pressure that I felt in this whole stadium.
Well, there's our players of the game. Joe Cooper popped off, but he backed it up, folks. But nobody made a play any bigger than number 15, Drew Brees, when he went 64 yards to Seth Morales. So Chevrolet gladly makes a $1,000 donation in their names to both Ohio State and Purdue. This place will explode, folks.
Joe Cooper.
When the belt comes off. When the belt comes off, you know it's over.
John Cooper had his team ready to play.
Yes, he did. I
thought his defense played outstanding. I thought the whole team played with great intensity, but sometimes you get matched up against a guy that's just a little too good. And I think Drew Brees was a little too good today. I almost have tears in my eyes, and it was a wonderful game to watch back and forth.
It was the second time Gary almost had tears in his eyes today. The first game when Northwestern on the volleyball
that was great.
Pulled it out, and next week we'll go visit young Matt Danielson and Northwestern Wildcats as they host Michigan in a big one. "37 ticks of the clock.
Ohio State can no longer stop it.
A young man from Austin, Texas, was not aggressively recruited by any of the schools down there. And now he has led Purdue to within two steps of a Rose Bowl in Pasadena. And one of the first across the field to congratulate Drew Brees and Joe Tiller and Purdue is John Cooper. This, folks, is what they call an instant classic. Nice to have you with us. You know, both